There is a particular kind of audacity that shows up at funerals, the kind dressed in black but fueled by control, insecurity, and a sense to rewrite history. It doesn't cry real tears, it scans the room, calculates power, and then quietly, or not so quietly, tries to reposition itself as the center of the story that it never lived. And when that energy comes from a jealous, narcissistic new wife, the upgraded benchwarmer who lingered through the side door but now wants to sit at the head of the table, it doesn't just sting, it desecrates. Because funerals are supposed to be sacred. They are the final archive of a person's life, not a revisionist press conference. What happens too often, especially in Black families, is a silence that feels like respect on the surface, but it is really fear dressed up in tradition. Nobody wants to start nothing. Nobody wants to make a scene, so people sit there, clutching their pearls and swallowing the truth while someone else edits the legacy in real time. And just like that, the prior family, the real foundation, the children, the grandchildren, the history, the years of love and pain and sacrifice gets pushed to the margins, erased in tone, minimized in language, or completely omitted like a chapter that never existed. But here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. You cannot overwrite blood with proximity. You cannot erase lineage with a marriage certificate. And you sure as hell don't get to stand over a man's body and pretend his life began when you showed up. That's not grief, that's control. There's a pattern with these types. The jealousy isn't subtle, it's territorial. The adult children represent proof of a life before them, a life that they can't compete with, so they attempt to diminish it, rewrite it, silence it. Because the original story stands, their position feels smaller. So they perform dominance in the most inappropriate moments, like funerals, because they know people won't push back there. It's the perfect stage for a quiet takeover. But every now and then, there is one, the cycle breaker, the so-called black sheep, the hellraiser, the one they whisper about because she doesn't play along. She doesn't confuse silence with strength. She doesn't equate respect with self-erasure. And she sure doesn't let anyone bulldoze her lineage while she's still breathing. So when the narrative starts getting twisted, she speaks, and not politely, not cautiously, not in a way that makes everyone feel comfortable. She shakes the table. Not just a gentle nudge or a full-on reckoning. The kind that rattles dishes, cracks legs, and forces every single person in the room to confront what they've been avoiding. And what's been done, when it's all done, and when the dust settles and the room gets quiet, there's always that moment. No one has anything to say. Because deep down, they know she told the truth. And the truth has a way of exposing not just the narcissist, but everyone who enabled the dysfunction by staying quiet. Now let's be real about something else, because it needs to be said carefully but clearly. Accountability matters. Consequences matter. People who bully, manipulate, and dominate others rely on environments where nobody challenges them. This also includes narcissistic men abusing their partners. When there are no boundaries, no pushback, no consequences, they thrive. But the answer isn't chaos or harm. The answer is courage, clarity, and people willing to stand up and say, this stops here. And that's what disrupts the pattern. And that's why the one who speaks up is often labeled too much, dramatic, or disrespectful, because she breaks the unspoken contract of silence. But here's the reality. What needs to be said cannot be heard. The words will get lost in the conflict if a person was to show up and shake the table, raise hell, and choke bitches out. I want my words to stick, and I want them to stick permanently, and I want you to see what I have to say and recognize and understand the truth for years to come. Nothing changes in the family until someone is willing to be uncomfortable enough to change it. So when you say, we existed, we loved, we hurt, we mattered, that's not just an emotion. That's legacy defense. That's ancestral accountability. That's drawing a line in the sand and saying, you don't get to edit out of a story that we help build. And if shaking the table is what it takes, then let it shake. Because some tables were never built on truth to begin with. And for those who dare to deny a bloodline, to rewrite a legacy, to stand in stolen light and call it their own, understand this. Truth doesn't die with the body, and lineage does not answer to your insecurity. What is buried in silence will rise in reckoning. So if you choose the fire, if you lit it with lies, with erasure, and with arrogance dressed up as authority, then may it recognize you when it comes back around. And when that fire reaches for you, when hell comes back and spins the block to hold your hand outstretched like an old friend, may it hold you close. May it not loosen its grip. May it walk with you. Hell, chaos, and fire, hellfire, step by step, into the very heat that you created, until you fully understand what it means to try to erase something that was never yours to touch. Because what was spoken in truth will not fade. My words will not sit quietly in the past. They will echo, etched as a tribute to the woman, the wife by default, in the eyes that everyone that reads his obituary, in the hearts that feel it, and in the minds that can no longer pretend that they didn't see. And long after the room falls silent, the truth will stand and will still be speaking.